Beautiful. Okay, so welcome again. So this is a weekly lesson. Every Monday from 4 to 4:30. Come join live because you'll be able to ask questions. Have you bring any tea packaging for me to read? You're welcome to as well. If you need to duck away to grab it, you're welcome to. I'm going to just give a bit of an introduction. And so if you haven't already, and I know both of you have, but for those who are watching later, if you haven't already, join the Facebook group Crafty 101 because all of the replays will be published there. And then, so what is Crafty 101? So apart from, the Chinese tea lessons, this is also the group that I will share all the updates. So we have a weekly catch up, the one that we're having now. We have the monthly in-person events, mostly in Melbourne. But if I do travel to other city, I will try to bring it to other city. So this is a moving business. That's why I no longer want to have a physical location. And then we also have a 3 tiers tea course, and then I will give you a little bit information about that as well. Hi, Sink or Sank. Did I say that right?
It's Jenk.
Jenk.
Yes.
Jenk. Okay, great.
Hi,
Correct me
Kaishan.
because, obviously English is not my first language. I don't think this is English, by the way, the name. So,
I don't think as well.
I'm not very good with names. So, and look, that's Ray right here. Thank you for joining again, Ray. So agenda for today, we will talk about the meaning of the word cha and the pronunciation, and then also the writing for cha, and then I will read your tea packaging if you happen to have one. And because we don't have a lot of people right now, so you're welcome to just unmute and ask a question. But when we have more people, then I will appreciate if you can raise your virtual hand if you have any questions. If we have, more time, then we will move all the discussions, towards the end. Now, lesson 1 is the character cha. So in Chinese, it means, the convenient sentences, the tea tree. It is evergreen, and then it have sort of a round leaf, and then, with white flowers. So why am I putting this definition on the screen here? Because I want to differentiate, in Chinese, this word is specifically for convenient sentences, not peppermint, not, chamomile, none of those. So I think that, I look up the English definition in the dictionary as well. It's also mean convenient sentences, interestingly enough. And the pronunciation I have, share is cha is the second sound. So if you learn Mandarin, there are 4 sounds that you make. So if you want to repeat after me, unmute. What are the 4 sounds? So using this character, as an example is cha, 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 cha. Does that sound funny to you? So if you're happy to repeat after me, this is how you learn because you want to engage. This is how you get it into your brain, into your head as muscle memory. So repeat after me. The first sound is cha,
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 cha.
cha,
cha,
The third sound cha,
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 cha.
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 Very good. Okay, so for this occasion, this word in Mandarin is called cha. So the second sound, it goes, you need to go up with the pronunciation. But if you visit, for example, Guangzhou, which is the Wall Street for tea, the tea market is the biggest in the whole world. Then they will say cha. So it's more like lower. And in Japanese as well, they will say ocha. So it doesn't go up. So I think that, in some way, Cantonese and Japanese for this word, it sounds very, very similar. Okay, we got the pronunciation down. Then we look at the writing. So all of this means, you know, cha, but how do you tell? Like, they look so strange. I don't know. And I will, teach you how to take that apart. And then we will write the character a little bit. So let me share my whiteboard. And please, you're all going to do this with me because this is an interactive class. Okay.
Oh.
So excuse, I can't write very well with my mouse. So on the left-hand side, it is the old, version of the Chinese writing. The top part, this part actually means grass. Okay. And then the lower part, this actually means trees. And then I have actually I should, okay, I stop sharing for a second and show you a book. Can you see on my screen this book? This is the book I used to teach my son Chinese. And then it's 3 related words. So firstly, it's a picture of a river. And by the way, this is an old writing for water, lying sideways. And this is the tree with no leaves. So it has the root and it has the branches. So that is how it was originally written. And then when it's one tree, now this character means wood, but it used to mean tree. And when there are 2 trees, then it becomes the character for bush. So if you have quite, a few trees together, it becomes, the character for bush. But when you have lots of trees, a bunch of them together, then it becomes the character for forest. So it's that simple. Chinese is that simple. It's basically just drawings. So if you go back to the screen, just 1 second, let me share the whiteboard again. Do you have any questions, at this point? No? Okay. So the lower part is basically a tree. The top part is the grass. And in between, we put people. And that is the characters for T. And that's how you spot it. And obviously, this is, a little bit hard to write. And over time, it becomes simpler. The lines are a little bit more straight. It's less like a picture now. So we go to page 2, and you see this is the order, you should write the word. But it's still like the easy way to remember it, this kanji. Sorry, I study Japanese in English. So every time I want to say Chinese writing, I would say kanji, even though it's Japanese. So every time you see this writing, you just need to remember there's a person in between the grass and a tree. Then that is the character for T. Is that easy? Raise your hand if it's easy. If it's not, then I will find another way for you. Kunan, it's not easy. Do you have any
no.
question for me?
No, it's fine. It's
Good,
fine.
good, good. Okay, then I will now encourage you to write it on the screen with me. So this is the grass on the top. And then the people in the middle. And then the wood, also the tree at the bottom. So, try to follow the order in here, then you'll be able to write this kanji. Go ahead, because you all be able to write here.
Oh.
So have you ever, learned any Chinese, Kulan?
It's a good question. Yeah, I actually learned Mandarin 3 years ago, a bit of
Wow.
Mandarin. So I do the traditional and simplified, but it's been a while since I've written
Right, I see.
as well.
So do you think that you're conversational?
Not really, because I haven't spoken in Mandarin for a while now, but if someone speaks to me, I'll be able to understand.
Wow, I'm impressed. Ray,
So,
do you want to test out? Do you want to test out cooling?
so you could say something basic.
Yeah. So will you be able to read your own tea packaging?
Yes, I do that sometimes with the tea packaging,
Amazing.
but
Amazing.
with glasses, otherwise. But
Oh, look at Ray. That's a
ah,
very cool device. I'll spotlight it again. Can you show your writing again?
I just read it again. It's ugly one.
That's okay. So, yeah, I also start to, try to do some calligraphy. I have to say that, through tea. Oh, look at that.
that's good.
Yes.
Because
Difficult to find.
when I was learning calligraphy, it was just what you said, Kaisha, and I learned how to break down the characters, and it was really helpful to memorize. And when you do calligraphy, it's just a nice way of slowing down and understanding the strokes, because it's very
Yeah.
beautiful when you write the character.
So when you say
Mm.
calligraphy, do you do it with a pen or do you use like the traditional one?
I use a fountain pen and
Brush.
there's a brush pen too.
Okay.
Okay, because I have found that with the brush pen, it is, it needs a lot more concentration.
Concentration because
Yes.
of the pressure.
Yeah, and that's why in itself is also meditation. So
Yes,
anyway,
agree. Yeah.
sorry about the hiccup about the technology. Then I have also realized that you guys are very fast learner, and then you pick it up very, very quickly. And also because you wasn't able to practice on the whiteboard, I will play with that later. But in the future, I hope that everyone will be able to write on the whiteboard. So I'll be sharing the the order of the show in the Facebooks so you guys can practice now I also want to share a little bit more about what's happening coming up in the group with events and classes and catch up. So let me quickly go through that. So this is a QR code to scan if you want to find out, what is happening, that what I'll be hosting, in regards to tea. Why am I sharing this picture of Darren? And it say coffee barista. So I'm not changing over to the coffee world because Darren is also the first and only Australian water sommelier. So he is actually certified in Europe, and he studied a 1 year course about water. So he knows the in and out of the chemical changes, the mineral contents and everything. And I found it extremely interesting. And that's why I reached out and said that, do you want to collab? And just happened that, in February, late February, he's coming for a coffee competition. Apparently, there's a coffee competition happen every year in Melbourne, and there's no tea one, and who wants to change that? Anyway, so we will be hosting a workshop called Crafty and Mineral Water. I don't remember the name. We got some fancy name, but we were going to talk about, what's the difference between, tap water, mineral contents, HP level, all that. And then we will, do the tasting process, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different water, taste it, and then brew the same tea with this water and see, what's the difference, and then find out about, what is a good practice in choosing different water for tea. So that's why it's there. If you're interested, it's happening on the 24th of February, Saturday in Chiaki, which is a Japanese cafe in Collingwood. So join if you are curious. I think that, I'm super excited to, meet him. We only talk online. So I would love to meet him in person when he came from Brisbane, and then I will do a podcast with him as well. So stay tuned for the podcast as well if you want to learn more about water. Now, I'm also doing 3 TST courses, as I was talking about in the beginning. First one is free, Crafty 101. Kula had joined that one. And then there is also, the next level, which is all about how to brew a good quality tea once you get it home. So, if you buy a very expensive tea, you want to handle it correctly. Just like, you bought I don't know, a lobster. You want to learn how to cook it, right? You already spend the money. So that's you know, second level. And then the third level is I haven't really shared because you know I haven't fully sort of get all the pieces together, but this is a year-long thing. And it's 50 teas in 50 weeks because there are that many specialty tea or craft tea really, because lots of herbal tea also claim to be specialty tea. So you know, by the, you know, and a lot of people ask me, how do you learn tea? And the only way to learn is to drink it. Drink as many tea as possible, just like learning wine, just like learning whiskey. You drink them. So, you know, by the time you drink all 50 tea that I have selected, and they are, you know, a lot of them are not available in the commercial market. And then you will develop a palette and then the flavor profile and also the flavor map, like all around China. So you can actually travel, you know, China one tea at a time. Anyway, so do we have any tea labels? Oh, and by the way, you know, book in a chat if you have any questions, comments, you know, feedback in any of the lessons, events that I'm hosting, or any suggestion on what you would like to see tea-wise, please book me a chat. Why I always, you know, want to get you to book a chat, because I want to collect as many feedbacks as possible, you know, to better my tea education offer, you know, because I am serious about, you know, trying to change, you know, tea culture in Australia and wanting to see better tea everywhere. I will share a link in the, but I want to actually, you know, show you the tea I have and see if you can spot the character for tea. Can you spot it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I
Better.
can.
Yeah. And it actually, you know, have a few, you know, it repeat itself. So this is it.
Mhm.
This is it. And then also here. And then right next to it is the Chinese character for good. So it actually say good tea.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So good tea is also very interesting, you know. I'm gonna show the whiteboard again. So with the character good, it's actually very interesting. What do we think is good? It is if we have children, we have, you know, a daughter. This is the character for female. And if we also have a son, this is the character for son, then it's good. Yeah, so this is how you remember. So pretty much sometimes you learn one character, you also learn a few other character. If you take this one word for good apart, then it become woman. And then this also means little, you know, little children. This is called 子, 女子. It also means, you know, a young woman. So if you take it apart, but together it means 好. Can you repeat after me? 好.
How?
Yes. So you go down and then you go up again. 好. So good tea is 好茶. Do you want to say it?
Could you say it again?
好茶.
Oh,
How
cha.
cha?
Thank you. Yeah, that's it. Do you have any question? I think that I don't want to share too many, you know, to overwhelm you in our first lessons. And obviously there's still some problem I need to iron out, but hopefully, you know, this tea class will get better and better.
I would love to ask you actually.
Yes.
I am buying some gifts for some of my friends for Chinese New Year.
Yes.
Is there a particular tea that's good for Chinese New Year or just anything?
I would say anything because you know, China is really big. And then different region, people drink different things. So, you know, for example, like people from Guangdong would love to receive Finnish Danchong. And then
Mhm.
people from Fujian probably will prefer, rock tea.
Okay.
So then, you just need, if you want to give something for Chinese New Year, then you look for very red packaging.
Right. Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
actually, yeah, I have some. I'll show you. Send you a picture later. But I have a Venus oolong, and it is both danchong and both honey orchid and the silver flower, the dark blue one. And
Okay.
it's really red. So that would be great for Chinese New Year. So
Oh,
I'll
that's
send you a picture.
lovely.
Yeah, so look
Perfect.
for
Thank you.
something really red. And then another thing we'll look for is, we tend to give things that's in pair.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of time we don't just give one single thing. We give things in pair to signify, good fortune, abundance, and also
Mhm.
especially if we're gifting for people who get married,
Yeah.
then it has to be in pair.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. I hope that helped. Great
Yeah,
question.
that's good advice. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else I can help you with?
I think that's it for now.
Okay, then I will later on write down the 2 words that I just teach, which the first one is cha, and then the second one is how. So now you'll be able to spot good tea anywhere. Only on the package though. You know how they say on the package it doesn't necessarily mean inside.
Yeah, I can't imagine them saying it was bad tea on the packaging. So.
True that. Great, and that's half an hour, and I don't want to make this too long because when people watch the replay, if it's too long, then they feel intimidated to watch it.
Yeah.
But thank you for joining me, and sorry again about the technical issues. Thank you, Ray, for coming to learn Chinese with me. And I'll see you next week.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Bye
No worries.
bye. Thank you.
Bye.